Welcome back to the Panama City Beach Major for the American Cornhole organization. Season 17 well underway, and we are just about to tee up the finals of our juniors division here with a couple of the best players of the entire weekend so far. Riley Brewster in the king seat, meaning one and he is done, against Caleb Rogers, a regular foe of his out of Alabama. These two play one another on a regular basis. Caleb, unfortunately, though, will have to double dip and take 2 games in order to win the Juniors Championship. These guys are wrapping up their down and back warm-up tosses. I am Finn, the loudmouth for the ACO. Again, welcoming you back, whether you're watching around the world on the Stadium Network. Stadium, your 24/7 home for sports. These boys have finished their down and back, and they are ready to roll. So we welcome you aboard for the broadcast, and we're looking forward to great competition. A little bit earlier, we saw senior Johnny Thomas take out Tony Uhouse in the Seniors Championship. It took Johnny 2 games. He was taken down by Tony in the first game, and with that king seed, he only had to win the 1 game, so he was able to pull off the second game and take that title. These guys, these bags are flying, and they are ready to go. Both of the boys from Alabama, Tuscaloosa for Caleb, Talladega for Riley Brewster, who just pitched coming from the right-hand side of the board with the right hand, both pitching with the right hand. There's that flop shot we talked about earlier in the seniors game that these younger players have developed. What a great push shot right there by Riley to clean up a couple of bags there and pick up the first 2 points of game number 1. Again, 1 and done for Riley as he sits in the king seat coming out of the winner's bracket. Caleb Rogers from Tuscaloosa, Alabama, has to double dip out of the loser's bracket. These guys tater and they're ready to come back. And these boys play at a whole different pace. If you watched our seniors match earlier between Johnny and Tony, much more deliberate, not nearly the pace that the juniors play with. Some of the grips that you'll see are a lot different from some of these players. Some of the tosses, as you know, if you've been to any sort of cornhole tournament, if there are 20 players or 500 players, you will see anywhere from 20 to 500 different ways to pitch the bag. Again, I am Finn, the loudmouth for the ACO, the American Cornhole organization, the governing body of the sport of professional cornhole since 2005, and hopefully joining me here in the booth will be the founder and the president of the American Cornhole organization. There he is, Frank Gears, the cornhole dude. These boys are underway, and they have already started the battle, trading twos to get the game started. 1 and done for Riley in the king seat. Caleb's going to have to double dip out of the loser's bracket, but these guys are on fire. We were just talking about how quickly the younger players play versus what we just watched in the seniors match. It's a whole different pace of the game.
So, I mean, talking about some of the matches you've already seen tonight, Finn, they're insane.
It's unbelievable. If you've been watching along on Stadium, you have seen really great shot making, and you are about to see a lot more and shots in this game that you did not see in that seniors match. This roll shot, this flop shot, whatever you will call it, is one that these guys have figured out a way to master, and it all has to do with the grip. And we'll talk more about that butterfly grip coming up. You're seeing it again here. Will this bag be able to get up? He just decides Riley is going to lay low and take the wash. No harm, no foul, no blood, no foul. And they live to play another frame. But yeah, earlier that Johnny Thomas seniors victory over Tony Uhouse. Tony took him by surprise in game 1, and Johnny had to come up with a massive shot to win game number 2 and take that seniors championship.
You know, I was over there behind the booth taking in some scores earlier in the day, and I saw Tony coming up to me a lot, and knocking off some really talented individuals in that senior division. So it did not surprise me that he gave Johnny a good match. So.
Well, and he and Justin Duke just took the B bracket for the blind draw here earlier on Stadium. We just had some games going on for general viewing, and those guys were 1 and done to get out of the B bracket in the blind draw. That's
a really shot that was.
Wow, what a great shot there from Riley.
Little bomber.
Brings it in over top, drags a bag in with him, and again, able to pull off the wash. No harm, no foul again.
Am I right? Are both these individuals from Alabama?
Both from Alabama. Riley is from Talladega, Caleb from Tuscaloosa. And it's great, as I was talking with the guys earlier beforehand, not a lot to say about themselves, which is funny. You ask, tell us what else you do, what other things you like to get out and do, and they just kind of stand there and look at you.
That's look at that flop shot.
That wasn't even a flop shot. It just hopped. It just bounced up. Now, Riley has set himself up nicely to finish that out, but it looks like Caleb will probably do the trick for him, which he did. Now, this spinning that you're seeing is another phenomenon that is basically relegated to the juniors, this ability to spin the bag on their finger as a I don't know if it's a distraction.
I've tried it for 17 years.
No,
man, that was a killer bee right there.
Right up over top and then drips it off the backside. That's a fantastic answer from Riley right there to get one up and over the center, and takes another 2 points to take that first bag and a 2-point lead there. But again, the way these guys keep their head in the game, whether it's spinning the bag or wearing the earbuds or whatever it is that keeps their focus on the board, they do not mess around. And there's a great blocker bag right now.
You hit something there, though, Finn. I mean, the earbuds, I still talk about this for the last 2 or 3 years of whether I believe that should be something illegal, because it takes away from the crowd. I mean, to me, you have to have the crowd be part of the experience of playing out there, and I think the players should have to
nice bag right there.
Have to fight the crowd, not be able to use earbuds to block out any kind of distractions, right? Well, that's my personal opinion.
If you happen to know anybody that's involved in who makes the rules on the sport of cornhole, why don't you get on that? These guys are just lights out going after it. Oh, and that's an interesting bag. The roll shot rolls the other bag in and sits up high at the noon position. And basically with a couple off the back, that allows Caleb to track a couple extra points to get that first bag back. And again, you'll see all sorts of different shots here. Very
So Riley's in the king seat too, right?
Yes,
I mean, he's got to be double dipped here. Is that correct?
He has to be double dipped, and you'll see a very casual toss from both of these guys, both throwing right-handed. Another great up and over shot there. And it's not really that flop shot where it rolls. It somehow hops and gets up and over. That was low and direct. Another one, and it's hitting so flat. How is it hitting so flat on the front of the board and popping up like that? I just don't know. And he drops a bag in there for Caleb.
Look,
and now
at
that's
that.
the roll shot right there. That's that flop shot we were talking about. And it's that grip that allows that to happen. And he tried to get that push, was not able to get the push. That is a 7-point turn right there for Caleb Rogers, who jumps out to a 13-4 lead.
Riley is in the king seat, though, so he's got to lose 2 games to lose
Well, he
this
has
title.
that opportunity, though, to, as we
Close
talked about
the books.
earlier, well, as Johnny did with that first game, to sort of feel out your opponent. Now, these two much more familiar with one another than Johnny and Tony were earlier, because they play against one another on a fairly regular basis, both of them playing to a degree out of Heart of Dixie Cornhole, where Johnny Thomas plays from. And a lot of players from that area, that boy coming in hard and fast. Goes ahead and puts one in, pushes one in, and then sacrifices one off the back. And it looks like a cleanup there from Riley. Nicely done. And boy, a bag that just crawls into the hole, and one following it right there behind. So that's going to, with a bag off the back of the board from each and one left on the board, that's going to allow Caleb to pick up points, hold on to that first bag, and try to work his way toward grabbing the first of the 2 he will need to double dip to win this juniors division, season 17.
It's a little left of the hole there.
American Cornhole Organization, Panama City Beach, Florida, here at the Lake Town Wharf Resort. What a great day today has been. A little bit of rain in the past few days, but it all cleared up and welcomed us with open arms here. Nicely done there by Riley.
It's actually kind of hot out today.
It really
Gotta be
was.
honest. I didn't mind being indoors and just looking out at the sunshine here in Panama City Beach.
These two just matching each other shot for shot, but still they don't spend a lot of time. Oh, boy, and there's just a wasted opportunity. Not only a wasted opportunity, an unintended consequence there, and that allows Caleb Rogers out of Tuscaloosa jumps to a 17-4 lead. Now, again, we've talked about this at the World Championships. Philip and I were talking about it at the seniors. No lead is safe. You cannot look at 17-4 and go game over just because
just
21.
Like that. Caleb pushes one to the left, and this is a chance for Riley to score some points in this round.
He lays down a blocker. Whether it was intentional or not remains to be seen. But with that roll shot or that bounce shot or whatever you want to call it, you do have to wonder if any placement really is going to be good enough. And that is just another very sneaky bag that Caleb was able to put in there.
What's he going to do with this one?
I think he's going to hop it again. It's going to pop and hop. No, he didn't. He laid it up short. He's going to force him to take that tight grip, come in, drive
and
low.
a great
Nicely
bag by
done.
Riley.
Really, really good bag and a really. I think he's going to hop it again.
Right up the middle.
Hop and hop. No, he didn't. He laid it up short. He's going to force it.
That was a big bag, Finn, right there.
Really
good
opportunity for
really
him to grab that first bag back, absolutely, and maybe get his confidence renewed. These guys pretty much similar in stature. Interestingly enough, earlier today I was watching our little buddy Easton, who was playing, 7 years old. He was out here playing lights out. He's about 3'2", and he was playing against another one of our juniors who's about 6'3". That it was really hard to even wrap my head around what I was looking at while they were pitching together. That's a great bag right there. That roll
Caleb
bag.
has got that flop shot mastered.
He really does. He really does. And he forces. He forces.
He's a gunslinger, man. I've not watched him play too many times, but he's got a nice low line drive right there.
Yes, he does.
Good
and
push bag.
He gets a good push, but he does run the risk, and we've seen it a number of times already.
Shoots it off
the back of the board. And as our buddy Jay Boogie says, you know what? That dog can't hunt from the backyard.
Oh, man.
All right, so
both
of these guys are, just like you said, gunslinging. They're pulling them out of their holster. 20-6, though. Looks like Caleb is on the cusp of taking the first of the two he will need to double dip Riley to take the Juniors Championship. But again, if you're watching on Stadium, we welcome you to the American Cornhole Organization Season 17 Panama City Beach Major, live from the Lake Town Wharf Resort in Panama City Beach, a city who is celebrating a rather ominous anniversary this weekend. 3 years ago, a hurricane came through here and really, really, really left its mark. And the way the city has bounced back since then is unbelievable.
You know, that year was a strange year for the ACO because we actually had two of our majors that were affected almost back-to-back months by hurricanes. We got the Panama City Beach Major wiped out that month of November, and then followed up, or that was October, and then in November I think there was something in North Carolina.
Right.
That was
coming off the East Coast.
Affected our Charleston, West Virginia major with the flooding and everything that went on across the East Coast.
Yes, it did. And while we were rambling on about the weather here, Riley made himself a nice little comeback, 20-12. The score after that last frame. One bag sitting up high probably will be collected at some point, and ultimately all of those bags should. Well, now he did a nice job there of pushing Riley's bag up and off to the left side, so just taking that bag in that center lane is really all he could do. Now will he try to go high and bring it in? He is.
Oh, what the airmail to win the game, right?
That gets it done. How
about the game with that? That might be an ACO Whole Nation shot of the week right there. That was
probably
dynamite.
Maybe we can look at that in slow motion.
Richard Tracy Powell, you better be checking that one out.
Yeah, that was quite a shot right there, and he knew it as soon as it left his paw that was going in there, and that was going to take that bag and drag it in with it. Now that gives him the first bag here in game number 2. If Caleb Rogers is able to take game number 2, he double dips out of the loser's bracket and overcomes Riley Brewster, who's in the king seat out of the winner's bracket. Last game we saw in our seniors, Johnny Thomas came in the king seat, gave up the first game to Tony Uhouse, but was able to grab that second game and ultimately take the seniors championship. Coming in low and flat like that spaceship bag that we've seen so often from players like Caleb Hurt. Nicely done. These two guys working their way back towards the scoreboard.
I'll tell you what.
Got a straight wash out of that first frame. Zeros. And these guys are going to go ahead and fire again in game number 2. Again, you're looking at Riley Brewster and Caleb Rogers, both from Alabama. One of the things I was talking with Caleb about before we got started is, you know, at this age for these guys, you know, what other sorts of things did they do? And I laughed because it was really hard to get any information out of them. Now that's quite a laundry basket they've built up there. He's going to come in and undercut is Riley, and he takes out the foundation of that, giving all of these bags now an opportunity to find their way in.
Tell you what, Riley's sitting in a good spot here with a nice airmail.
Coming up and in and over the airmail. Oh, he drops it in the back. How about that? But not able to get the drag to pull that bag off the front side of the hole. Picks up a couple of points and posts the first pair in game number 2. But one of the things Caleb does is, and this brought back horrific memories for me when I was his age, selling coupon books for school fundraising.
Oh, yeah.
When he was doing that. And, so I'm like, oh, my God, we were selling magazine subscriptions, but now it's coupon books and wrapping paper and candles and all that stuff, school fundraising. And I do have to laugh every time I hear that, because aren't lotteries supposed to be putting all their monies into the schools? Why are they still selling this stuff? I don't get it. Bake sales and so on and so forth. Caleb not really happy with that shot, and Riley just happy to leave one on the board and see what happens next. So one off the back and one in. These guys tater. It looks like maybe
a little 3-spot there for Caleb.
Caleb's got Riley on his heels right now, so Riley's going to have to
Finn, we got a lot of stuff going on here today, and
gather himself.
Middle of getting ready to start this quad tournament as well. Co-ed is still going on, and we got this junior game that is amazing.
Right, and we still have the women's final to get to here in just a little while. Veronica Easterling and Brandy Childers going to be battling head-to-head. Two completely different stories coming from the two of them, and Philip Barnett will be back with me as we are going to be calling action from the women's championship here, season 17. Again, the American Cornhole Organization Major in the Panama City Beach area. Just a gorgeous area, and we have enjoyed the hospitality here at the Lake Town Wharf Resort as these guys continue. That's
nice
a great
shot,
bag right
nice
there
shot,
to get
Riley.
the push. Posts a couple right
Good-
there.
good
4-3
game right now.
Takes the lead.
We know what I'm going to do. I'm going to step away because I see somebody that just tapped on the door here. An old partner of yours,
here in the booth.
Barnett,
Well,
is
Philip Barnett,
in the house.
It's hard to have a co-host announcer who's also a great player, because he also has other things going on. But I would tell you this: it's always nice to have you here. Congratulations on the success of the American Cornhole Organization since 2005, headquartered just outside Cincinnati, Ohio. Everything we're looking at today in cornhole around the world right now, all of it has to do with the vision that you and the team had all those years ago, and season 17 is proof positive of that. So congratulations.
You're doing a great job here, and I'll step away now and let Mr. Barnett in the house.
Very good. Just keeping the sea warm for Philip Barnett, who is burning his way through the competition and all the other divisions here in Panama City Beach. And I would tell you, it's not just the women's and the seniors and the juniors. We have co-ed, we have blind draws, we have singles, we have doubles, we have all sorts of different things going on every time we come to town for a major. And if you are interested in becoming a member of the ACO, rake, we can get a rake. You want to get out and get a rake there? Let's get a referee to get a rake and find out, because there is one bag precariously hanging there for Caleb, who I feel thinks it's going to fall, and after the rake, it does not fall.
Hanging on for dear life is what I call it.
Yes, and a no blood, no foul setup right there. That was our boy Aaron Candler there. He had an opportunity to get on Stadium. It's his lifelong dream, so he wanted to be on the Stadium Sports Network, and now he has been. But we talk about that. If you want to become a member, or you want to find out a closest tournament or a certified official near you to get you involved in a group, AmericanCornhole.com. Not only can you find out how to become a member of the family, you can also find out how to buy any and all of the products that you see being used here, from score towers to boards to pitch pads to bags and everything. Some great play right there from Riley Brewster. Posts up a couple more, doubles up on Caleb Rogers, 6'3". Now, we already have one game under our belt, Philip. Caleb has the first of what could be a double dip under his belt.
I'll tell you what, it looks like we're going to get them all night. Once they start, they keep on coming, and that's what we're here. We want to watch this great cornhole action, and so.
Absolutely, and as we spoke about in the seniors final, the ability for these juniors to come in hard and fast and do the gunslinging that they do, we talked a little bit about that flop shot. And we have seen not only the flop shot be used by Caleb, but watch this right now. Will he bounce it over and hop it over? Yes, he does.
Oh, he does.
He takes one in and leaves one laying on the back. The one that was supposed to do the hopping ended up building a little condo on the backside of the hole. But now he's coming in trying to drag it. Oh, how about that?
I'm going to tell you, that's a problem. That's the deal with these young guns that we sort of see, man. They have no fear. You go out there and play them, they don't care. You know, tomorrow they're going to go get the same flavor ice cream that they got yesterday. You know what I mean? They don't care.
And with a great shot like that, he still gave up points to Riley, who wasted no time getting them up into the Scoreholio scoreboard. takes that first bag and puts it back in the hole. But he has this hop shot now. It's not just landing on his side and rolling up and over. It hops up and over. And this is one that he is using on a regular basis.
There it is, right there.
Is Caleb, and this is not one that I have seen on a regular basis, maybe accidentally, but he really has figured out a way to use it to his advantage. And
there it is.
There it is.
You know what? Sometimes when you're playing against that, it will demoralize you,
Yes.
especially the older players who we can't do that.
When you can't do it, and they can show you how to do it all they want to. He's got that thumb grip, that butterfly grip, hop up and over.
Oh, man!
Oh, how about that?
Hey, look at him.
Comes up, over, hits the backboard, drops it, and it sneaks in the backside and show you how to picks up a point with that shot. The fist pump, adding the point in. He gets that first bag back.
And you saw the excitement out of Caleb Rogers. Caleb Rogers is such a great kid. Parents are super nice. I mean, this is my first time meeting Riley, and he comes off the exact same way.
Yeah.
Good parents.
Just great juniors in this organization. Absolutely. You know, and it's funny because you don't want to call them kids, because every one of these kids will come out here and take you to the woodshed.
That's
and whoop
right.
you.
They will take your lunch money is what they'll do for you.
Teach you a lesson and tell your mama about it. Absolutely. That is absolutely the truth. Now, there's another one of those high bags that he's come in with, and those tend to hang around the side of the hole. That one is unbelievable. It comes in like a rocket ship, pushes a bag in, leaves one up on the backside, leaves that hole open, but everything's hung up. It seems impossible that bag can sit there and stick and be pinched that way. There's no rake necessary. So
Caleb going to grab a couple out of that bag hanging up by Riley. I mean, he threw a great shot and got
And there is no real reason with as loose as these bags play, as we talked about before, that those bags should not fall. But it's just something about the physics of the nature of the fill in the bag. A lot of times it has to do with the resin pellets. That's something we can talk about here in a moment. A nice shot at an airmail to try to drag all of those bags in, but he missed off the back, leaves it low, and that's not a low block. That is a mistake.
He hits the back of the hole. Man, you can see Caleb Rogers. He's feeling it right now. He's getting excited with every shot.
He really is. He picks up another.
And takes the lead.
Another couple points there. It gives him the lead back. And I think Riley, that was almost just a reset for him. I think he said, I'm going to put this on the board. I'm going to go down there. I'm going to pick up my bags. And I'm going to get back on track.
Let me tell you something, I'm sitting here looking at Caleb Rogers' mother. She is a nervous wreck sitting over there. But you got to think about this cornhole that exploded across the country right now. And the family thing, you see so many families out here now playing. It's crazy. But it's also a good thing, you know?
Yes, it is. And it is really a family game. As a matter of fact, our friend Rich Pyle and his wife Tracy put together a program for us called Whole Nation. You can find it on our Facebook page at American Cornhole. And there's a great feature on family in there. Frank Gear's wife is involved in the organization, talking to her about what it's like to be involved. Barry Hempy talking about the number of children that they've fostered over the years. You've got Austin Cameron showing you exactly what we were talking about here, the technique to get that roll shot together. So that whole family within that show of the American Cornhole family. But also, you know, we had a really great piece that you can also find on the website, a player spotlight. It was Craig and Ashley Irvin who are here in Panama City Beach. Craig, our world number 7 player, but their whole family involved. You do see so many families, parents, kids, everybody out here.
These kids, man, they're just amazing, though. I can't speak that enough.
Yes.
Over here, the shots they can come up with, the event. One of these guys I was talking to earlier told me his favorite player was Austin Cameron. You know, Austin is setting a good example for these kids. Austin's already got a couple majors under his belt.
Yes, he does. In fact, he just about cleaned up every prize there was to take home in Kalamazoo and was apologizing to his doubles partner for coming in second. So he will see what we call the young guns, the future of the sport. And it can be frustrating when they play at the pace that they play at, when they are faced against maybe one of the seniors players who's used to a more deliberate pace. But these guys get up and they start slinging. They have slowed their pace here just a little bit since game 1 and giving it a little bit more of a thoughtful approach. But when they are ready to go, they do not mess around.
Well, unlike the seniors, you know, like I said, these guys have no fear. And unlike the seniors we saw, both guys showed a little nerve.
Look at that. How about that? What a shot up and over the top. Like it had eyeballs, and he's going to come in is Riley, and he'd be able to pull a couple of those bags in and leave one sitting up to the top right-hand corner. Now, the question is this just going to come in low and hot? Yes, it is.
Oh!
And he, unfortunately for himself,
4 points there for Riley right there.
Gives Riley a 4-point gift.
I thought Caleb might could pull a wash out of that right there, but he knocked Riley's bag in and gave up 4 points.
Yes, he did, and gathered around as more and more gather around here at center court for the American Cornhole Organization Season 17 Juniors Championship. You are seeing more of the families, and we mentioned Craig and Ashley Irvin. I see them standing over there watching. All their kids are involved now. I was talking with one of our women's finalists, Veronica, her daughter, or Brandy, I believe it was, actually. Her daughter, not a big fan of cornhole just a year ago. Now she's got a jersey, and she's playing right along with the rest of the family.
Absolutely.
Her son, Easton, 7 years old, throwing lights out against the other
We saw him over here earlier.
It's crazy. Now that front door is open, and Riley is taking advantage of it. No, there's a great bag. He thought was going to pull that other bag in from the left side. I saw Riley saying he needs a little liquid refreshment, so hoping that somebody will be able to take care of that and get him a little juice. Now, you'll notice...
Not the juice that we're drinking.
Not the juice that the
right
adults are drinking. No, absolutely not. But you'll notice on the score towers on either end, there's a score tower and a drink tower, but the score tower has a drink holder on it as well. If you've ever played cornhole, you know that you cannot play cornhole without some sort of liquid refreshment by your side.
But the juniors are having water and Dr. Pepper.
Absolutely. While the older guys are having water and Diet Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, absolutely. Diet. That was a good bag right there.
Nice bag snuck in.
Look at you know what's great too? You see this place is packed around this court right now.
Yeah, it really is. And boy, you look at the comeback here that Riley has made. All he's got to do is take this one, and it's over. And he gets 2 bags in. This is a very, very important bag right now. And he gets 1 in.
He gave up 3 right there. Caleb did.
So 18-9. Again, no score is safe, but you can tell right now Caleb is frustrated because he had this entire thing in the palm of his hand on the cusp of the double dip, and I think he feels that maybe it's slipping away just a little bit.
You know, it gets down to this point right here where Caleb cannot afford to really make a mistake now.
No mistake.
You know, the flop bag don't flop one round or something. You pretty much got to play straight up.
Absolutely come down to this frame. Again, Riley Brewster from Talladega, Alabama, also known as the Grasshopper. That could be the mistake that he needs for those final 3 points. Against Caleb Rogers, Tuscaloosa's favorite son, at least right now. Sponsored by Triple Crown Cornhole and T-Town Cornhole.
And Riley is from Talladega, Alabama.
Yes, he is.
Said he was a big race fan. And a 4-bagger, and Caleb's got to go in here.
Got to get it in there.
The game is over.
And he gives it up.
And his first major win.
How about that? Riley Brewster, Talladega, Alabama, comes back in game number 2 after having game number 1, the rug taken completely out from under him. Caleb is disheartened, but ultimately, Riley Brewster did what needed to be done in game number 2, and he made it happen. He is your juniors champion for this season 17 Panama City Major for the American Cornhole Organization. Congratulations.
ACO, we are Cornhole.